Do you think that the wealthy are really just the same as everyone else, and that maybe they've gotten rich through being at the right place at the right time, or that it's simply just luck? Well, we've got news for you. It isn't just luck or coincidence. And the wealthy are not the same as everyone else. The wealthy think differently towards money than the non-wealthy. The result is clear to see. In this video, we're going to explore 5 mindset differences that separate the wealthy from the non-wealthy. Welcome back to Lifestyle Billionaire Club, where the future millionaires and the new rich come for inspiration and education on how to reach their goals, build true wealth, and learn to keep it. This channel isn't for the lazy, so if you aren't here to get inspired, go ahead and hop off. Go eat a taco under a bridge with the neighborhood stray cat or something. But if you're a connoisseur of the good life, welcome. You found your home. And before we get into today's video, if you're dedicated to hitting your next level and continuing to learn and grow, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications. And if you get value out of today's video, share it with friends. Because remember, getting rich is more fun together. So let's get into it, shall we? It's very tempting to look at the wealthy and make assumptions that it's down to luck, inheritance, education, and all of the things that you as a non-wealthy person might not have. And hear us now. We're not making the assumption that you're poor. We know you're probably doing great in life. But for simplicity's sake, we're going to talk to you as if you want a bit more out of life. In some cases, the simple luck excuses have certainly helped people get rich, but in reality, it's not the only thing that got them there. There are a lot of self-made millionaires out there right now from a multitude of different backgrounds, families, areas, and walks of life. They've made it. Now, let's look at some of the differences between the wealthy and the non-wealthy and see what kind of things are causing the divide. Then, you can see how to bridge the gap for yourself. Number 1, the wealthy think about time and money differently. The wealthy value their time. They know that their time is finite. Money is not. So you need to make good use of your time. This translates into spending it being productive or doing something enjoyable or relaxing, which is also productive, but in a different way. Non-wealthy people tend to see things differently. Money is seen as a scarce resource and time more plentiful. This results in an imbalance where people trade a set amount of their time for a set amount of money, the hourly wage. Jobs are worth a certain amount of money and they take a certain amount of time to complete. In the majority of cases, the job you're trained to do will have a limit as to what you can earn from it. We also have so many hours in the day, and we're not able to work them all. So working in this traditional way won't be the way to get rich unless you're able to live within your means, set aside money for savings and investments. For most people, though, it's not going to happen. Wealthy people tend to be self-employed. They have more control over the work that they do, the hours they work, the wage they receive, the direction that their business is going in. They're also more likely to have multiple sources of income, passive income at that. Wealthy people utilize their time more efficiently by outsourcing the jobs that aren't productive or fun or relaxing and can be done by someone else cheaper or better, or both. This can free up a lot of time and energy. Jobs such as housework, ironing, accounts, admin work can be outsourced. You could also have healthy meals delivered if you don't like cooking and tend to eat unhealthily, as this can impact your health and energy levels massively. Wealthy people are more likely not to spend time doing something that they don't enjoy. They'd rather invest their precious time in higher tasks or relaxing instead. Bear in mind that the time spent doing what you don't enjoy isn't wasted. Your mind needs downtime as much as your body does. It needs to be able to spend time in a flow state, which is often reached through doing things we love. Maybe it's time to start to ask yourself, what's the best use of my precious time? Number 2, know your risk and loss tolerance. When you are wealthy, it's true that you will have more money to risk in new ventures. It's also true that you have more money to lose also. The wealthy calculate this: what they can afford to lose, what is the likelihood of this happening, and what are the other consequences. When you have less money, you're less likely to take risks that you feel could jeopardize the little money that you do have. Rather than look for ways to increase money, you're more likely to look for ways to keep the money you already have and try to keep it coming in. Your tolerance to loss will also be low, as it will have a greater impact. The concept of risk doesn't just apply to money itself, though. Looking for and taking on new opportunities handing over responsibilities to others, letting go of control of areas of your business and home life, learning to put new practices into new skills. These can all feel risky. The risky feeling is different than the actual risk, though. Can it feel risky to start a new business? Oh, yes. The actual risk can be calculated. If starting up costs very little and you have the time, then that risky feeling could well be mislabeled as excitement or uncertainty. A feeling shouldn't stand in the way of you crunching the numbers and finding out what the risk actually is. Overall risk and loss tolerance are subjective states to an extent that can change when you have more information and more experience. You only have to look at people who do extreme sports. Have you ever seen anyone flying in a squirrel suit, coasting mere feet above jagged rocks as they whiz over a mountaintop? It looks absolutely crazy. Then again, we've had zero training and haven't looked into how it works except for watching a few videos of people doing it. The people who do it aren't beginners. They are experienced and they've calculated the risk. After all, they don't want to come crashing down either. Risk and loss are part of growth, and that's why many non-wealthy people are unable to get rich. The risks and losses seem too much, and they're okay as they are. They can manage. The other thing to bear in mind is how subjective risk, loss, and wealth is to individuals. I'm sure that you know people who you consider to be well off. They have a savings, a good job, but they talk about money as if they were broke. There's never enough. You might also know people who live the next to nothing, have no savings, but seem to always have enough money. This is why you need to know your numbers, so that you can get a true perspective on what's going on in your financial life. Then you can start calculating risk and see if you can handle the potential loss. How do you feel about risk? Is it possible to become wealthy using low-risk strategies if you're more risk-adverse? Let us know your feelings about risk, and if you think they're stopping you from achieving the wealth that you want. Of course, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Also, if you have a friend who needs to hear this, share it with them. Now, let's get back to it. We're only on number 2, and we have 3 more points to show you that really separate the wealthy from the poor. Number 3, take advice wisely. Wealthy people take advice from people who know what they're talking about, people who have a proven track record in the financial field. Sure, they may get tips from friends and family, but generally, you want advice from people who see the bigger picture. It's great to hear opinions from friends, but for advice, go to a specialist. Friends will want you to feel good. Advisors want what's best for you. And that won't mean flattering your ego. It will mean giving you constructive advice that will help you achieve what you want. Also, bear in mind that the people around you will be seeing life at the same or similar level to you. Generally, when people understand money better, they get more of it. Is that happening in your friend group? There's a quote from Jim Rohn. You are the combination of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you're around people who are struggling or stuck in a certain level of wealth, then any advice that comes from them is outside this circle. In short, the rich is discerning about who they take advice from, and you should be too. If you're the smartest person in the room, it's time to find a new room. Speaking of a new room, make sure to subscribe to our channel and become part of the Lifestyle Billionaire Club community by ringing the bell notification and actively participating in our videos' comment sections. Number 4, keep the goal in sight, but be flexible about how you get there. When the pandemic hit, many businesses struggled. Some went under, but others thrived. Companies like Nintendo tripled their profits. Netflix made record profits in 2020. It makes sense. People were stuck at home for a long time and needed to be entertained. Some businesses were able to adapt and started to see opportunities and serve people still. Supermarkets began to offer delivery services. Some hobby shops also did this. Others changed their business model to adapt. Some restaurants provided takeaway food or delivery services. Being flexible, able to see opportunities as they arise and to take them, are signs of growth mindset. And this kind of mindset will overcome problems. The wealthy know that there is no point in getting hung up on how to reach your goal of being rich. What's the point? There are many different ways. Keeping your eye on the goal, but not minding how you get there, gives you the freedom to be able to adjust course when you need to. If you hit a dead end, then you know you need to go in a different direction. It doesn't mean the end of the journey. You can certainly build a new business around your passion. However, if you don't listen to your customers' wants and needs, you might lose an opportunity to grow. By all means, stick to your core values and be flexible on how they're expressed. Number 5, setting planning, and achieving goals. The wealthy know the value of a good plan and strategies that cut down on time wasting and focus on being productive. Research shows that 88% of millionaires are self-made, so their money has come from their own efforts, not through chance or luck. That's something to think about, isn't it? The wealthy know their numbers. Then they're able to execute those plans while still being flexible enough to change if needed. A plan doesn't have to have every single step written out. It can begin life as a rough idea and then get defined along the way. Non-wealthy people don't do this. They don't plan for wealth. If you plan for wealth and you're open to advice and guidance, then you stand a pretty good chance of getting it. Many non-wealthy people often live groundhog days. Those days that all blend together. Get up, breakfast, go to work, come home, eat dinner, watch TV, go to bed. Weekends are made of catching up on housework, going to the garden center, maybe having a few drinks. Most days are the same. Your job is tolerable and you can get by on your wage, and you spend extra on the holidays. Or treat yourself. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with this kind of life whatsoever. However, if you want to be wealthy, then you must start doing things differently. Henry David Thoreau said, "The massive men live lives of quiet desperation." Don't be that way. Live life on purpose, with intention. Learn to set goals and work toward them. Become more each day and truly live out your potential. That might mean sorting out your savings, getting some investments in place, or cutting spending, or retiring from a job with better income. You still need to research it, plan for it, and execute that plan. There's no getting away from it. If you want to be wealthy and you're currently not, you have to make some changes. So get researching, planning, and doing. These are only 5 differences between the wealthy and the non-wealthy. There are certainly more, but we feel that these are a good place to start. Let's go over them again. Number 1, the wealthy think about time and money differently. Number 2, know your risk and loss tolerance. Number 3, take advice wisely. Number 4, keep the goal in sight, but be flexible about how you get there. Number 5, setting and achieving goals. How about you? Can you think of any ways in which the wealthy and non-wealthy differ? If you're rolling in millions, what made the difference for you? Let us know in the comments below. We'll see you on the next one and keep helping you build on your path to wealth. Thanks for watching and check out the next video. As always, remember to subscribe and turn on post notifications.